Hey, it's good to see you again. Or now what we're going to do is going to make another inexpensive meal. That's turkey wings. Now, I know that when you go on the internet, you can find all kinds of recipes when it comes to turkey wings. You can find recipes that come from the south, from the north, from the east, and from the west. And then also in the Mediterranean, all over. Well, I take pride in saying that this is the Italian way, all right? Yeah, I put a few things together, and they worked out real good. Now, what I do is, there's a turkey wing, see? Now, what I do is I go ahead to the store, and I buy medium-sized turkey wings. Not the big, humongous things, you know, dinosaur wings, no. Just something medium-sized, and people tell you, you know, when you cut it up, have the meat cutter cut it up or disjoint it. I do it myself. And then they tell you also, get rid of the wing tips. I don't. I love the wing tips. The only thing that I have to say about wing tips is don't give them to small children, because the wing tips do have a couple small bones in there. So if you're going to cook it, eat it yourself or another adult to try and taste it. But the rest of the turkey wings, fine. Go ahead and cook it and eat it. But anyway, there it is. The three parts of the turkey wing are the wing tips. I forget what the middle part is, what it's called. And then you have the drumette, which is the meaty part of the turkey wing. And that's the most delicious part. Now, what I'm going to be putting into the cast iron pot to cook the turkey wings in is just another vegetable. It's got, again, carrots, bell peppers, red and yellow bell peppers, onions, some celery, things like that. Just nice vegetables that will add flavor and taste to your food. And you see that I already got it going. And I go ahead and put them in there. And you need to recognize the fact that you're going to brown them as much as you can on all four sides of the turkey wing. Again, all you're doing, remember when you do things like this, is that you're just adding flavor to the meat so that you know, your food is going to taste delicious. Okay. Here's the last one. And just go ahead and pour, that's just oil and some seasoning that's in there, okay? So now we just have to wait for this to start cooking. So let's come back in a couple minutes, okay? And it's going to take a few minutes because what you're trying to do is brown the turkey wings. Again, browning it just gets more added flavor to everything that you cook. Now, while this is browning, I just want to tell you a little bit about some of the seasoning I put in. And you got Italian seasonings, you know, the one that you normally get. It's got extra virgin olive oil. It's got garlic powder, onion powder. I mix all of this together. It also has fresh parsley, which I chop up finely. And I put it into a pan and just mix it all together. And the vegetables that I put in there, including the seasonings, I chop up fine. Because what I'm going to end up doing with is I'm going to make a sauce out of that to put over the turkey. So you don't want big chunks of vegetables. Okay, so that's the reason I do it. Also, I can tell you how you can make it a little thicker, the sauce also, by just adding a little cornstarch. I'm not going to do it in this one right now, but you can do it also when you get home or when you're home and do it yourself. I also, one of the things I try to do is I try to use low sodium broth, whether it be a chicken broth or a beef broth. I don't like too much salt. It's not good for you. And that's my opinion. And also, actually, that's a doctor's opinion when I was in the hospital. So he restricted me from being able to use so much salt. And actually, you know, I got used to it now. When I eat something that's a little too salty, man, I can taste it right away. Give you a real quick little example about it. One day I was at one of the stores, and I was hungry for getting some hot dogs and then putting some what do they call that? Chili bean, for the chili beans. Anyway, I looked at the can, and I could not believe it. It was a small can. That can had 1,500 grams of salt. 1,500 grams of salt in one can. Way too much for you. So anyway, I'm a spokesman for the guys, to tell you not to eat too much salt. Anyway, so I put also carrots. I dice it up. Everything that I put in here, which you will see in the recipe at the end of the video, just remember to dice it up small, so that when you cook it like you're doing right now, it's going to go blend in with the oil and everything else. Anyway, the reason I'm looking at this piece of paper in my recipe is because there's so much stuff in there that I can't remember everything. And so I have to look at things. I'm getting older. Oh well, I shouldn't be caught talking about that. I'm not old, I'm young. In mind, anyway. So I do that, and I also remember one thing. You always have to cook these babies about an hour, hour and a half after you put them in the oven. Not right now. All we're doing is trying to brown the outside of the turkey wing. And then when we put it into the oven, that's when we count hour to an hour and a half. And you're going to be surprised how good it is. Hey, let's go back to these and let's see what else we can do, okay? Okay, folks, now we're going to put the ingredients into the other ingredients, vegetable ingredients, and other ingredients into the pot to cook it. Now, to be honest with you, there are a lot of different ingredients that will go into it. Nothing really complicated, but it's just a lot of little steps that go into this. And so you will see all the ingredients at the bottom of the video. So I'm going to eliminate some of them because of the time constraints. Okay, but then you'll be able to see and follow the directions that I have there, okay? So I'm going to put these cut up vegetables that you've seen already. It's carrots, onions, celery, and then seasonings like salt and pepper and garlic, okay? So let's put that in there. You might wonder, well, how come you're putting so much vegetables in there? If I didn't, it wouldn't taste like I know it's supposed to taste. So I use that, but then you'll notice also that I don't leave it dry. Now, I put my wine. Again, this is that Chateau Saint Michel Sauvignon Blanc, and you've got to get the right one. I've tried other ones, and they're just not the same. So if you want to find out what it is, hey, I'll send you an email or something and tell you the type of wine it is and the vintage, okay? So let's pour that in there. That was a cup. Now if you need a little bit more, that's fine. You have a little bit left. I have just a little bit left in this bottle. So if I end up seeing that I need more of the wine, then I have enough here. And then you want to put some nice, little bit of cold water in there, okay? Just add some water over here. Let's start off with about a half a cup, okay? Just pour it in there. And the other thing that we also put in here is chicken broth, which I have in the refrigerator. Here it is. And I'm going to measure out about half a cup of that chicken broth. And remember what I told you? I don't exactly know exactly the amount half ounce or 1 ounce or one cup or 3/4 of a cup. I guess at it. You're going to end up doing the same thing. You put it in there. Mix it together a bit. And at the same time, when you move this around, try and loosen up the fond that's at the bottom of the pan. Remember, the fond is the flavor that's been cooking into the bottom of this, and you don't want to throw that away. You need to use it. So it just adds a greater flavor, a greater dimension, and your taste buds will just say, wow, what's this? And then you'll know. Probably it could be mostly just the fond that you have at the bottom. Okay, now we got that done. Now we're going to cover it. I want to tell you something a little bit about the cast iron pan. You might find some cast iron pans that have either ridges like this or little buttons. The reason they're put there is because as it's cooking, you know, the water evaporates, and what those little buttons or these lines produce is it catches the evaporation of the water, and then it brings it right back to the meat. So that's another way that you can cook this for a longer period of time without drying out. So you may find, like I said, a lid that looks like that with those ridges, and some, like I have another one, it has little buttons, and that's what they're for. Anyway, I want to tell you about that. Now let's cover it. And now I got the oven already heated up. So let's put it in here. I'm going to get this other one too. Pan's a little heavier than you think it is. Okay. Put it in there, and then if you have a clock, time it. Time it for 1 hour. And after a half hour, you may want to go ahead and pick up the lid just to see how much liquid is in there. You want to have enough so that at least half of the pan has liquid. Okay, because that's what's going to soften and tenderize the chicken or the turkey. Now go on and play. So here we are, and I'm going to take the lid off, and look at that. That's all the seasonings, all the herbs, and the wine and everything. You notice how luscious it looks? But let's find out what it really is like, okay? So let's take one of these, what they call a drumette. And we're going to test it out, okay? So let's get a knife and a fork, and we'll go over here. Little fork, little knife. And let's try this thing out. Nice and tender. Nobody is going to have this. I'm going to eat it all. What it needs is just a little bit of that sauce. Because let me tell you, what you can do with this is, if you feel like it, make some mashed potatoes, or how about some nice rice? Simple. But I tell you what's going to make the rice better is this. Just pour that over the rice, over the meat here. Now, if you wanted to make this a little bit thicker, there's one way of doing it. Well, actually, there's two ways. Now, if you really want to get fancy, take the turkey out and then use the juice and strain it through a sieve. Once you get all the particles out, the vegetables and so forth, put the juice into a pan. Get about half a cup of hot water and about a tablespoon of flour. Mix it in with the hot water, but make sure that all the flour is dissolved so you won't have any lumps in it. Once you get that done, remember this is now does not have any more turkey in it. All you're going to have is the juice in there. Then pour that water, hot water, with a little bit of cornstarch or flour and mix it in. You're going to see that that juice gets thick. You know, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Anyway, so here it is. Let's try it out, okay? Again, with a little bit of juice in there. Now here's where the French bread or the Italian bread would come in. I think I'm going to patent this thing. I don't want anybody else to try it. Do it. Okay, you know. All right, my friends, so that's it, you know. That's the turkey wings, and remember, turkey wings aren't that expensive. And if you cook it right, slow and low, you're going to end up with a very tender turkey wings. And again, from here, from this pot that you have made, then you can add other side orders, you know, like rice. You can get some vegetables, steamed vegetables together. And remember, don't throw away that sauce, especially if you're going to have rice. Just get that sauce and put it over the rice. Oh my gosh, you're gonna really be surprised how good it is. And it's not just not me talking because I cooked it, because I like it and it's good. And next time we're going to make shish kebab, Italian style. So I'll see you next week.